Transformers of Eternia.
You're watching Transformers of Eternia. Now today, with all the leaks and all the reveals and all the new Transformers that have been revealed and all that stuff that have been talked about in the last 2 weeks or so, I thought, well, maybe I'll just hit the highlights and talk about the things that I enjoyed from all of that and just kind of give my thoughts on all these things, because there's just so many things to talk about. It's unbelievable how much stuff leaked and just came out from Hasbro for the Transformers lines. But before I get to that, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And thank you for checking out my channel. Now back to the show. So the first one here that I noticed, they decided to do, they're going to do like a Studio Series 86 blaster, not considering the blaster that I bought, the one that actually came with a clear little plasticky looking eject, and that one wasn't very good. I mean, that blaster was really good, but the eject is clear plastic, and we all know that that can break and kind of be fragile kind of over time. But then they decided to do this, and then recently, and they decided, hey, look at this, everybody, you know, well, while everything's dropping, we're showing off everything. Yeah, here you go. Here's a blaster that looks just like the 86 movie, which it does look good. I really like how this looks, and I'm tempted to actually buy it. It'd be nice if they actually gave us some cassettes, though, for this guy, considering that Soundwave got a lot of cassettes, and for some reason Blaster just never gets his other cassettes. It's just like, what about Ramhorn? And I mean, there's just so many cassettes that they could do for this guy, and they just never get around to it. It's really weird. And I wouldn't want to have to buy another colored version of Blaster just to get another cassette. But yeah, this looks good and everything, and I will probably end up getting it, unfortunately. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. So here we have something that I really like. I don't really like this cartoon series for Transformers Cybertron, but I did like the design for Starscream in that. And I did have that giant big Starscream that they came out with. It's like supersized whatever Starscream back then. This is a Voyager scale, but it's a bigger Voyager, which is kind of nice. And it comes with pretty much every single thing that giant Starscream could do, I think. It even has a Cybertron key, which is kind of useless for me, but everything else is cool that this guy has. So this looks great. They revealed this, the Voyager Starscream, or Voyager Cybertron, not War for Cybertron, Cybertron Starscream is going to be coming soon. And that's nice, and he looks good. Everything looks good on this guy. This guy really looks like a great Transformer. So I just can't wait to get my hands on this. Like I said, I don't really collect a lot of the Cybertron stuff because I didn't really like a lot of that stuff back then. But I did like this Starscream, and this design was very, very good. So I can't believe they did that. Okay, so now we got Lockdown, which is kind of cool and not cool at the same time for me. I think the vehicle could be a little bit longer and more elongated looking. It just repurposed a Junkion basically to make this, and kind of sucks because I think this guy should stand a little bit taller. He should be like a Voyager scale, and his head should be a little bit more like the animated, because in animated he just had a different look. And also his chest, I always also want him to have like a fake windshield on his chest, and like the top of the car on his chest. That's another thing that I really would like. But this does have all the same like colors, and everything seems to be about right. It just feels like it's just a little bit of a kind of a knockoff version instead of it just doesn't seem like Lockdown as much as it should. But yeah, they're doing good. They got the hook on his hand and everything. But I just think the head needs to be more animated looking, or at least more Generations style animated, I guess. And then everything else, and maybe the vehicle needs to be a better vehicle. I think they should have made a new mold for this guy, honestly. But I actually probably think I'll get this because it's Lockdown, and I always liked Lockdown. So now we're going to talk about the 13 primes or whatever, because they're going to actually do all the primes, it looks like, and they're going to be in different scales. Like some of them are going to be deluxes, some are going to be Voyagers, some of them are going to be leaders. I didn't see Sentinel Prime on there, but I'm pretty sure he'll come eventually here. And I'm sure there's going to be other primes. Obviously, they have to have 13 primes, so they're going to have that for sure. But these are just some of the designs that they had that I could find on Googling or whatever for some of the primes that they might be kind of styling these things after. So when they come out, they'll probably maybe look similar to this. I don't know. Some of them look pretty weird and bizarre, and also some of them were showed up in like the Transformers Prime series, so I didn't have a real good image of them, what they would look like in a Generation style toy. But we'll see how they go. I don't know. I don't really have high hopes for these things because maybe I might like some of them, maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. It's basically like they're doing the Prime series all over again with the Power of the Primes or whatever. They're just doing it better this time, I guess. So speaking of the best, or at least the best in my book anyway, if they do this properly, I'll be happy. But the Fallen. If you're going to talk about the 13 Primes, you have to have the Fallen in there, and you have to do a Fallen. So it looks like they're going to have a leader version of the Fallen coming out. I don't imagine that they're going to make him look like the Revenge of the Fallen movie, obviously. So I'm sure that they're going to maybe try to model him similar to the IDW. I believe it was IDW. Anyway, the Dreamwave maybe. Anyway, the Fallen from the comic books, from the War Within. And I do hope that they do that because I always love that on fire looking, like the anti-whatever Prime or whatever, the basically the evil version of the Primes, and he's on fire perpetually like Satan basically. So it's kind of like he's the Fallen, obviously, so he's the Fallen One, and that's just awesome how they did that. And I just think that if they could do something similar with the oranges in the inner workings of the body or whatever, then I think that would be cool. Originally, I thought they would use Tarn's body or his model or whatever to kind of make a Fallen, but I guess they're not. Well, maybe they will. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess. But he'll be a leader anyway. Okay, so they got into another one, and that is Alpha Trion. They decided they're going to do a Voyager Alpha Trion. Now, I have a feeling, because they're going to do a Vector Prime, and they're also trying to do the Cybertron series, so Vector Prime is in that. So I believe they're going to have a Voyager Vector Prime. So I have a feeling that they're actually going to use the Vector Prime mold, and they're going to do an Alpha Trion out of that. They've done that in the past, too, so it's not like they haven't done this before. So I have a feeling that that's going to actually happen, because I'm pretty sure that Vector Prime is going to be used as one of the 13 Primes, and it's very easy for them to reuse that mold to do an Alpha Trion. Okay, so these are just kind of random figures that's going to come out as well. We're going to get that Crasher. I guess we're going to get another re-release of that Crasher. You know, it'd be kind of nice if they did some other GoBots like Leader 1 and Psykill. Just to name a few. Hey, Hasbro, can you please figure out a way to make some Voyager Leader 1 and Crasher? I mean, you have some molds out there that you could probably do that with, but I don't think you will. But unfortunately, I'd like to see some GoBots actually in the Transformers line, because I really would like to see those leaders. But anyway, they're going to have Red Alert from the Armada line, of course, and they're going to have Skybite. They're going to do another Skybite. They've done a Voyager Skybite in the past. Now they're going to do another Voyager Skybite. Hopefully they get him better with his legs a little bit more filled in. They're going to get this Venom. They're going to finish out the other Insecticons, the other 3, and that's going to end with the Venom figure over here. And then they're going to have Heat Wave from the Rescue Bots or whatever. Anyway, and all these figures are just kind of the random ones that are going to come out that people probably want or whatever, but they're just going to put them in the line somewhere, speckle them in. God only knows if they're going to change their mind and hold back for another wave for some of these. I'm pretty sure that Wasp is going to be they're going to take that animated Bumblebee and they're just going to remake that animated Bumblebee and make it into Wasp. So it's going to be like a quick and easy remold, basically. So anyway, that's pretty much all the random figures there. So they have a Swindle listed in this listings, and I know they're doing animated, so I think maybe animated is a possibility. But also, combiners is kind of a topic that's starting to come up again, and it seems like combiners is something that they're kind of leaning toward more. So it makes me think that maybe it's actually Swindle for a combiner. Because we all know that combiners make a lot of money because you have to have 5 figures or 6 figures to make a combiner. So you're going to have the fans going out and searching for every single one of them. And it's a money game, and you know how that works. And distribution usually sucks on these things. So that's where I start to get a little panicky, because if they're going to do it right, I want to have all of the figures, and it's really hard to get them in any good length of time without having to go on eBay and pay overpriced, ridiculous things to get them sometimes. But Swindle is definitely a combiner, and if he's not animated, then he's a combiner, and then that leads us into Bruticus. Now, Bruticus will be probably as tall as the Stunticons or whatever, and like Menasor or whatever. That's probably what they're going to do with these. I believe that they're just going to kind of use the model that they used with Menasor and have one big, like a major expensive figure that has all the parts in the middle, and then the other ones can be deluxes or whatever, which kind of makes sense, I guess. But I kind of wish these things were a little bit bigger, because Menasor really, he should be a smaller combiner compared to like Devastator and all these other ones. But I think that it would be kind of cool for them to do a Menasor, and it would be a Studio Series 86 Menasor. At least I think that's what they're going with. Anyway, so if that's what they're going to do, then it's going to be more cartoon accurate, I believe. So that's kind of cool. I just hope that they get every character to actually look right and make it to where you can actually get all the characters to combine this without killing yourself, because some are not seen in stores and some are, and it's like you have to go online, you have to search the web, and if you don't have a pre-order in right away, you miss these things, and then it gets sold out, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt. So the aerial bots were listed, at least 4 limbs were listed anyway. And so we get to actually get all 4 limbs, and one of them is not a helicopter this time. Hey, that's amazing. They actually got it right. So that's good. That means you won't have to pay $150 for that one extra figure that you have to find on or Amazon or whatever, or eBay, because hey, that one figure wasn't what they released in the stores. So anyway, I hope that they don't do a exclusive for one of the limbs. They should never, ever do that, ever, ever, ever again. Not ever again. Never do exclusives for combiner limbs or parts at all, because that is just the hardest and the biggest pain, because eBay people go on there and buy them all up, or whatever, the thing sells out, and guess what? You are missing a limb for your combiner. That is insane. And then if you want to have that limb, guess what? It's eBay time, and it's $150, even though it's not worth that, but whatever. So that's enough of me complaining. We'll get Superion anyway, and that's what they're going to do. And I believe, like I said before, the main core, Silverbolt, I believe he's going to be the one that has all the parts and all the stuff, just like in the Stunticons. Motormaster had the trailer and all that stuff. I believe that's what they're going to do with these, and I think that's how they're going to do this, because that's the only way that makes sense. And I believe all of them are deluxes, so that he's going to be basically a Voyager with parts, or Silverbolt is anyway, and then that'll just kind of fit together and make more sense, I guess. That's kind of how I would see them doing this, and that's probably what they're going to do for this. Now, moving on to Devastator and the Constructicons, of course, they did mention Constructicons' names in those listings that were leaked or whatever for the coming years or whatever. I think it was 2025 probably, or 2024 or late or whatever. Anyway, so they actually mentioned Constructicon figures, and some are deluxe and some are Voyager. So that's showing me that they're probably going to do, the arms are going to be deluxe, the legs going to be Voyager because they're bigger, and I imagine the torso, both of those guys are going to be Voyagers as well. I'm pretty sure Long Haul and Hook are going to be probably Voyagers, but they're probably going to be both leaders. That would make more sense, because if they both came with the parts, like the arms, like the pieces that attach to the deluxes at the top there for the arms, that would make a lot of sense. especially if they came with all the other components like the chest piece, that jet-looking thing that goes across the chest that's purple, and a couple other things, maybe the thing that goes over the crotch, maybe. I don't know. I'm just thinking that maybe Long Haul and Hook will be the actual ones that are leaders maybe out of this. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Maybe one of them will be a leader, but they'll just be a Voyager with extra parts, kind of, maybe. I don't know how they're going to do this. But they could do that, or they could just go the route like they did with the Stunticons and have like Motor Master type of thing where he comes with a big trailer, and maybe like Long Haul will come with extra parts or something and have him be... I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do this, but I can just imagine that one of them is going to have extra parts probably. I just don't want them to do Long Haul super fat and super ugly like they did in the original one that the Generations, whatever the one that one was. I have that one, and it's sitting on my shelf, and I'm never going to take it apart from Devastator because that just looks horrible with Long Haul being such a fat whatever. I know why they had to do that, but it just didn't work out so well for the actual figures. So we need to fix that so that we can have all of them looking about the right size in comparison. Okay, so there's going to be another Galvatron and another Megatron. Both of them are going to be actual leaders now, but I don't know what they're going to do with the Galvatron. He's already a leader. I mean, what else can you do with Galvatron other than maybe change the purple a little bit or make it a little darker, lighter, whatever. He's actually kind of perfect the way that he is now. So I don't know what they're going to do to make Galvatron, like more G1. I don't know. Like cartoon accurate, I guess. I don't know. But Megatron, I know they're not going to do a gun because, guns are bad in America. Everyone's so scared of guns because, whatever. I'm not going to get into it. But anyway, you can't have a gun, a toy gun anyway, even though you could go into a dollar store or whatever and kids can buy a gun all day long there. But, if it transforms into a robot, that's dangerous because, guns kill, and especially robot guns. We know they kill. So, so we don't want Megatron to be walking around anywhere shooting people. So we just can't have a gun Megatron. So we're going to have a tank Megatron that transforms into what looks like a robot that turns into a gun. So that's what we're going to get probably, and I'm sure that they'll do a good job because I think this time they're going to actually take care to actually make a quality Megatron. I mean, when they did Earthrise Optimus Prime and they did him right, they did him very right, and everyone was happy with that. They thought it was great. I mean, his legs are a little long, but other than that, he's pretty much Optimus Prime, and you can't get much better than that, I don't think. But I think that's a good Optimus Prime, and I think we need a Megatron to go with that, because Megatron really... the best Megatron I think we have is the one from Siege, because the Earthrise one was just basically the Siege one, and they just kind of changed some stuff around, and actually the Earthrise one wasn't as good. At least I think it was Earthrise. So yeah, I don't really like that one as much as the Siege one, but I really want a G1 looking Megatron. Well, speaking of Optimus Prime, it sounds to me like we're going to get a Commander class Optimus Prime for like the 40th anniversary, like the classic looking G1 Optimus Prime. And this one will probably come with a trailer that's actually the right length and the right size and everything. And it will probably come with everything that you see in this picture here, but unfortunately that is not the real image up there, so don't think... I think that somebody made that up. I don't know. I seen it going around on the internet. But that basically kind of covers what he would look like, though. Is he just pretty much have the trailer, the gun, the axe, everything, like the Matrix, the blast, everything. He would have all that, probably. So I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Maybe they'll throw in a basketball. I don't think anyone's going to do that, though. I really don't. But, yeah, so... that's the word on the street, anyway, that I've heard a couple times. I don't know where I heard this from. Maybe it was TFW 2005 somewhere. I can't remember where I heard this. But they're going to make Commander class Optimus Prime. Obviously, he'll be the Voyager scale. I don't think he's going to be bigger than Ultra Magnus or as big as Ultra Magnus was for the Studio Series 86. But I think that he'll be in scale. He'll just come with extra stuff, like the right size trailer that's actually the right trailer with the right everything that actually they spent some time on and actually made and took some effort to make it look actually decent. And I'm sure that the transformation will be pretty much similar to Earthrise. I don't even see why they're not going to use Earthrise and just make it more G1. Maybe they will, I don't know, but I don't think that would be considered really a commander class then if they do that, because there's a little bit more detail and transformation when it comes to the commander class, it seems like, and I just don't think the Earthrise Optimus Prime would be fitting to be used as that in there. But you never know with Hasbro. They might be just looking to make a quick buck, so who knows. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about here. So tell me what you think in the comment section below, and like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.